Yep, the secret to an expansive reprompt is to freeze the architecture so the output stays organized and only let the model expand inside well-defined compartments. Otherwise, you get a beautiful explosion of spaghetti. Here's a clean way to sectionalize it in layers so you can rerun it forever and keep getting coherent upgrades. Layer 0, guardrails and scope non-negotiables. Purpose, keep outputs lawful, non-violent, non-harassing, and actually usable. Legal ethics constraints, civic action only, no sabotage, doxing, harassment, evasion. Truth constraints, claims must be verifiable and flagged if uncertain. Jurisdiction mode, state agnostic core plus NY overlay. Audience assumptions, beginner, organizer, policy nerd, lawyer adjacent. Output constraints, file size caps, accessibility requirements, offline fallback, etc. This becomes your constitution that every later prompt must obey. Layer 1. Information architecture, sitemap as the spine. Purpose, the model must always output to a stable map, sectionalize into pillars, big domains, each with subpages. One start here, what this toolkit isn't. Choose your path selector, safety plus legal primer. 2, local facts and verification. Verify locally playbook. Source tiering, what counts as strong evidence. Glossary, terms like CLCPA, FOIL, FOIA, permitting, EJ. 3, levers, the 8 channels. Permitting and regulatory, litigation support, money and procurement, replacement build-out, energy plus food, narrative persuasion, workforce transitions, measurement accountability, coalition design. 4, workflows, step-by-step missions. Find a docket, comment, FOIL, FOIA records request, meeting plus coalition launch, draft policy memo, budget procurement ask, data collection plus dashboard publish, media packet creation. 5, toolbox templates library, scripts library, checklists, calculators, red flag fallacy detector, avoid misinformation traps. 6, NY overlay, agencies, key law hooks, process map, current hot button issue library, kept verifiable, city-specific add-ons, NYC optional module. 7, replication engine, port this to another place wizard, parameter file concept, jurisdiction variables. Layer 2, content model, how each page is structured. Purpose, consistent UX and fast upgrades. For every page, enforce the same skeleton. Goal, 1 to 2 lines, when to use this, what success looks like, checklist steps, templates, scripts, evidence, citations section, verify locally box, risk and ethics box, next links. This makes your toolkit machine expandable. Layer 3, knowledge packs, plug-in research modules. Purpose, expansions happen by swapping in packs, not rewriting everything. Create packs like Food Security Pack, Hunger Metrics, Emergency Food Systems, Cold Chain Resilience, Oil and Gas Pack, Project Lifecycle, Financing, Permits, PR Playbooks, Fact Only, Public Health PM 2.5, Methane Heat Impacts, Hospital Burden, Affordability Pack, Bills, Rate Cases, Cost Curves, Who Pays Narratives, Just Transition Pack, Wages, Retraining, Unions, Community Benefit Frameworks, NY Law and Agencies Pack, CLCPA Basics plus Where Decisions Happen, Campaign Ops Pack, volunteer roles, comms cadence, meeting agendas, escalation ladder. Each pack has core claims, must be cited, local variables, must be verified, reusable snippets, copy blocks into pages. Layer 4, output formats, so expansions don't bloat. Purpose, you're building a factory, not a one-off essay. Require outputs in multiple consistent artifacts. HTML pages, 12K chars each, a JSON manifest, sitemap dependencies, a templates bundle, markdown plain text, a data schema, JSON, CSV format for dashboards, a playbook PDF outline, optional future conversion. Layer 5, iteration protocol, how you reprompt for growth. Purpose, prevent drift, improve quality over time. Add a recurring loop like 1, audits, identify weak pages, missing steps, unclear outcomes, too long, unverifiable claims. 2, patch pass, rewrite only the weak sections. 3, consistency pass, ensure nav links and page skeletons match. 4, compression pass, reduce characters without losing meaning. 5, localization pass, add refresh NY specific bits, leave state agnostic core intact. This is how you evolve it without rewriting the world. A ready-to-use expansive reprompt template, copy-paste. Use this as your master prompt, edit brackets. 1, Constitution. Follow, lawful civic action only. No sabotage, harassment, doxing. No evasion. Mark uncertain claims as check and include verify locally. Guidance. Keep each HTML file 12,000 characters. Accessibility. Semantic HTML, keyboard nav, readable layout. 2, jurisdiction mode. Base, state agnostic. Overlay New York, CLCPA aware where relevant. 3. Output required. Manifest.json listing files, purposes, dependencies. HTML files according to the manifest. Templates, text blocks, comments, foil, FOIA, memos, outreach. Data schema.json for dashboard inputs. 4. Site pillars. Start here. Local facts and verification. Levers 8 channels. Workflows, missions, toolbox, NY overlay. Replication engine 5, page skeleton rule. Every page must include goal, when to use success, steps, templates, evidence hooks, verify box, ethics box, next links. 6, generation procedure. Step A, output manifest.json. Step B, output outlines for each file, bullets. Step C, output HTML files one by one. 7, expansion focus this run. Expand, choose 1 to 3 pillars. Leave others unchanged. Add, choose packs. Do not bloat beyond char limits. Why this works in one sentence. You're turning the model from writer into a modular compiler, stable interfaces, swappable packs, repeatable audits. If you run this structure, you can grow it into a full civic operating system without it melting into a manifesto blob. You're aiming at a state-agnostic playbook, usable anywhere, but you want to start with New York as the first city template. Cool. The trick is, if your goal is to disrupt oil and gas in service of feeding people, you'll get far more traction and durability by building a lawful policy and market vice grip than by flirting with anything sabotagey. So everything below is legal, non-violent, civic, market-based. Know how to break stuff, only how to outcompete, out-organize, out-litigate, out-narrate. The New York Anchor facts: why NY is a good starting test bed. NY's climate law, CLCPA, commits the state to economy-wide emissions cuts 40% by 2030 and at least 85% by 2050 from 1990 levels. NYSERDA, NY regulators have been testing how far CLCPA can reach into permitting, e.g. in the greenage permit fight. An ALJ found CLCPA authority could support denial of a Title V air permit renewal. Climate case chart: NY has real food insecurity pressure. Feeding America's NY page and its Map the Meal Gap work quantify large-scale need, and NYC itself publishes food by the numbers summaries. Feeding America: in late 2025, NY declared a food emergency to fund food banks tied to looming SNAP disruption. This is food system fragility in flashing red letters. Reuters: politically, NY is also wrestling with affordability versus decarb narratives in its energy planning. That tension is where persuasion and coalition design really matter. Times Union: that mix, strong climate mandates plus permitting leverage plus food stress plus affordability politics, makes NY a perfect starter dungeon for your toolkit. Brainstorm map: the big levers, state agnostic, NY ready. Think in 8 channels. Your index.html toolkit should mirror these as modules, so users can pick what fits their risk tolerance, skills, and local laws. 1. Permitting and regulatory friction: legal, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Goal: raise the cost of new fossil infrastructure by forcing full compliance. Tactics: lawful, comment swarm playbooks for permit dockets, how to submit substantive public comments, how to cite agency standards, how to request hearings. Environmental justice, EJ framing, how to document disproportionate impacts: health, noise, traffic, PM 2.5, methane leakage, explosion zones. Climate consistency arguments where applicable: NY CLCPA alignment is a recurring hook. NYSERDA user tools your pages should provide: a docket finder checklist where permits get posted, how to track deadlines, comment templates in multiple voices: resident, nurse, small business, parent, engineer. A source pack explaining how to cite credible evidence without sounding like a tinfoil bard. How to litigation support: not sue everybody, but help lawsuits be winnable. Goal: increase probability that strong cases get built by supplying organized facts and plaintiffs. Tactics: plaintiff matching guidance, who has standing, who's harmed, what records matter. Foil FOIA request templates, public records, inspections, leak reports, incident logs, emails, studies. Case tracker pages, what's been filed, where and why it matters. NY has active fights around pipeline approvals and climate compliance pressure. Politico Pro: 3. Money and procurement, starve demand, redirect budgets. Goal: move large buyers and public money away from fossil dependencies. Tactics: municipal procurement reforms, electrified fleets, building retrofits, heat pumps, efficiency, institutional buyer campaigns, hospitals, universities, city contracts. Food first budgeting proposals, treat food security as critical infrastructure, NY literally declared emergency funding for food banks recently. Reuters toolkit pages, policy memo templates, cost-benefit explainers with affordability narrative baked in. 4. Competition: build the replacement, energy, food. Goal: make pipelines politically stupid by making alternatives visibly better. Tactics: community solar, transmission, interconnection activism. Help clean energy get permitted faster while fossil gets scrutinized. Microgrids for critical food infrastructure, food banks, refrigerated storage, community kitchens. Urban agriculture plus cold chain resilience, last mile food logistics. In NY specifically, renewable siting and transmission processes are evolving, ORIs plus newer acceleration efforts. NY state public service docs. 5. Narrative warfare, nicer phrase is public persuasion, but goal: change what people think is normal and acceptable. Key move: don't frame it as pipelines versus polar bears. Frame it as food stability, health, local jobs, energy bills. Resilience. NY is a perfect test case because the public debate is explicitly about affordability and reliability versus decarbonisation promises. Times Union toolkit pages, myth-busting cards, short scripts for town halls, social content templates that avoid cringe and stick to verifiable claims. 6. Workforce and insider paths. Convert, don't demonize. Goal, reduce oil and gas capacity by improving off-ramps. Tactics, transition playbooks, union-friendly retraining pathways, comparable wages framing, whistleblower-safe guidance, how to report violations through proper channels. Now, 7, measurement and accountability. Scoreboards make government sweat. Goal, make it measurable and reputationally costly to choose pipelines over food. Tactics, food insecurity plus emissions spending dashboards by district, public trackers, permits approved versus hunger metrics, city council vote histories mapped over time. NY has strong public stats sources you can anchor to. Feeding America, Map the Meal Gap, NYC Food Reports. Feeding America, Hate. Coalition design, the secret sauce. Goal, broaden beyond climate groups. Coalition targets, food banks plus anti-hunger orgs, nurses, public health, parents, schools, small businesses, especially food sector, faith orgs, labor with just transition commitments. This is how you beat the jobs versus environment spell. What your index.html toolkit should actually be: information architecture. Design it like a game map. Core pages NY first, then copy paste for any state. 1. Index.html, start here, choose your path, permitting, money, narrative, build alternatives, data. 2. NY start here.html, NY legal landscape cheat sheet, CLCPA basics agencies where decisions happen, food security brief.html. Hunger stats plus how to cite responsibly. Feeding America 4, permit defense kit.html, how to track dockets, write comments, request hearings. 3. Records request kit HTML, foils, FOIA templates, what to ask for. 4. Policy memo generate HTML, fill in the blank memos for councils, agencies. 5. Campaign content studio, flyers, posts, town hall scripts, fact check tone. 6. Data dashboard, offline dashboard, CSV, JSON, local for accountability. 7. Coalition builder.html, outreach scripts plus meeting agendas, role assignments. 8. Safety and ethics.html, rules, lawful, non-violent, no harassment, no doxing. Keep each file under play characters by using local partials, header, footer if you're doing multi-file, or super minimal CSS and a shared app.js if you allow assets.
Meta copy paste.
To generate the full site. Below is a state-agnostic prompt chain that will output the site as a set of compact index.html files. It is structured so a model can produce 1. A sitemap, sitemap, 2. Content, 3. UX, 4. Compliance ethics, 5. NY-specific versioning. Prompt 0, prime directive, system style. Use this verbatim. You are generating a civic toolkit that supports lawful, non-violent action only. Do not provide instructions for sabotage, property damage, harassment, doxing, evading law enforcement, or any illegal wrongdoing. Provide citations or source hooks where users should verify facts with official public sources. Keep each HTML file 12,000 characters. Use accessible design, semantic HTML, keyboard navigation, readable contrast. Prompt 1, sitemap plus file budget. Generate a multi-file static site plan for a civic toolkit to reduce fossil fuel expansion and improve food security. Output JSON with file name, purpose, target user, max chars, and dependencies. Prompt 2.